Alright, we are now here in Ngorongoro Crater, which is amazing. As we descended down off of the rim, everything was completely cloaked in mist and fog. And then when we paused at the security gate, looking out, the sun's reflection was picked up within the lake, which you couldn't see that it was the lake. You just saw this gorgeous burning sphere somewhere in the clouds underneath this brighter sphere, and then couldn't see anything, and then over time it slowly kind of gave way to the crater floor as we descended, and could see kind of the tendrils of the clouds wrapping down and winding into the crater itself. So the crater itself is spectacular. It's kind of split between green, and then there's a big lake where all of the flamingos are, yeah, a couple thousand sitting down in the lake. And then we are up at this kind of overlook, and have a couple buddies behind me, which you can see. These beautiful, they're what, five males and two females, lounging around after probably a fairly hearty meal last night. And I mean, it just continues to be absolutely incredible. We're definitely significantly higher here, and you feel it. It's much cooler. Air is quite a bit thinner, which took me a little while to adjust to last night, but then got everything back on track. And camping was gorgeous, just with an overview, looking out over the crater. The landscape in here, there are very few trees, and it's much flatter than a lot of the other, well, not flatter, but I mean the basin itself is quite flat, which I guess mirrors elements of the Serengeti, but has a completely different look and feel. And then of course you're ringed by the what's left of the volcano, which is also, has these gorgeous clouds. Let's see if that comes in a little bit there. So I really couldn't think of a better place to kind of wrap up the trip. We'll see what else we see this morning, but it's been spectacular. I mean, getting to spend time with big cats like this, and then just how many cats and zebra, giraffe, elephants, and then fun smaller critters as well, little rabbits and foxes and gorgeous birds, you name it. I'm really, as I've mentioned in previous videos, really glad that we did the full 9 days. It hasn't felt rushed, and it hasn't felt too long at any point in time, which has been, you know, wonderful. Because that was definitely one of the fears, was that 9 days is a long time, especially just the three of us. Food has been good, and Stuart's been a spectacular guide from Fed Safaris, showing showing me where all the good stuff is. And they've been really long days, but they've been really good days, because we've been out almost every morning, at the crack of dawn for these amazing sunrises, and then spending the time out with the animals, and setting my own pace, and getting this set up how I want, where I want. And then just I mean, this time of year as well, I was a little concerned about, there was going to be rain, but the rain is great. The animals love it, and there hasn't been much. Light sprinkles, maybe 2 or 3 afternoons. The clouds have been incredibly dramatic, and made for just these incredible vistas, where I find myself kind of stopping for a shot of a tree silhouetted, or like just rays of light or something like that on a regular basis. So yeah, I mean, the Serengeti and Ngorongoro are absolute musts, and Serengeti and Lake Natron were also, they added this great context, and also had a lot to offer, and we saw a lot in both places as well. So there's so many different landscapes, even in the same parks. So I'm speechless at how stunning this trip has been, and just how gorgeous it is. So thank you guys for following along. It's been a amazing adventure. absolutely amazing adventure. And check out Fed Safaris, and make sure that you, when you're looking at safari, come look at this area. And also, one last thing is also to make sure that you give yourself time. I mean, that was kind of one of the things that we talked about in the planning stage, and it makes such a huge difference in being able not to, to stop when you want. And there's nothing worse than blasting past something that's absolutely spectacular because you just don't have time to stop and spend the time that you want with it. And I think by spending a little bit extra, setting aside that extra time, it's really done it. And seeing some of the other budget tours that we passed, I'm very glad that didn't end up opting for one of those, because people were packed in there like sardines. Hi, buddy. I think, let's see what's gonna happen. I think we are gonna get marked. So, yeah, that's a lot of lion pee. All right, I'm gonna go take some more photos because they're waking up, and it is time to go.